I got everything I ever wanted in my life, and more. This is an account that I made specifically for this post. I sometimes come and read but only success stories, no other posts. I prefer not to overload on information, but the success stories just help me feel great. I am posting this to hopefully make others feel uplifted. Sorry if this is a long post. I have managed to get everything I have ever wanted in my life, without having to fight, struggle or even try at all. A little background about me: I am originally from a small town of about 100,000 people in a conservative Muslim Middle Eastern country. I have an amazing supportive family, but they are still a part of the society they live in. Most of the things on my list below are not the norm and I was told were impossible. My response was always, I'm the exception, not the rule. So here are some of my achievements. Manifestations. After a 13-hour severe scoliosis spinal fusion surgery, I started walking 2 days later, left the hospital a week later and fully back to normal after 2 months. The surgeons were shocked AF. I was scheduled for 2 months at least of physio and back brace. Never needed any. At the time I was 13 and mostly just thought, nah, I'm not doing all that. I have summer plans. I got accepted to 3 different programs in Ivy League schools, with an undergrad GPA of 2.3. I've just finished my PhD in engineering. I was wrongly fired from my first job right after my bachelor's. After one email to the CEO I was offered an official apology, a full-time pay and benefit until I found a new job, without me having to actually do anything, or even show up at the office, 'cause I didn't want to stay with that company anymore. I did not pull any strings or involve lawyers or anything like that. I fell in love with a Christian man. Where I am from culturally and religiously, that's a big no-no. My parents were against it, and I mean, against it. We just said our I do's yesterday with my family. Happy for us. There was no long arguments or fights or pleading. P.S. I'm still receiving flowers from them as I type this. I have lived across continents and countries. Every specific country, apartment, job, opportunity or experience that I wanted and was called unrealistic, I got it. Everyone just called me lucky. Even during the pandemic when everything was on hold, I got things done. I assure you, I am nothing special. All I did was decide what I wanted and just knew that it was happening. Kinda like knowing your order in a restaurant is coming. I would like to remind everyone not to get too immersed in technique or, did I do it right? Or trying too hard. Want it, feel it, taste it, believe it and it comes. I never had to fight, or even argue for anything. There was no months of waiting, or remove limiting beliefs, or anything like that. I just went to silent mode, thought about it, daydreamed it, felt good and knew that no other outcome was valid. I've been doing this since I was a child and had no idea what it was. Dad called it moth rainbow magic, lol. Moths have invisible colors and that's what magic is. You can't see it but it does things, according to Dad anyway. I really hated moths and he just wanted me to sleep. I'm in my 30s now and I know how I got to where I am in life, but I love the moth magic idea. It's what started it all. My parents have all the credit for planting those seeds in our heads very young, but that doesn't mean you can't start to be childlike now. I hope this gives hope and encouragement to whoever needs it. Good luck to all. Edit. I feel like I need to mention that my life was not, and will never be, always rosy. Nobody's life is always happy and successful. I fell into periods of sadness and desperation. I just made sure not to stay there too long. 'Cause it's a waste of my time. Instead I just made the most of it and even joked about how miserable the situation was. At one point I was staying in a hotel for a good 5 weeks with no end in sight, watching my savings diminish while waiting for my work contract to be sent so I can leave from one country to the other, thanks to EU regulations and COVID. I played Little Girls from Annie 2014 version over and over while dancing around. It helped get me out whatever bad mood I'd be in. I meditated regularly, but not on an event or a wish, just for peace and happiness and calmness. Edit 2. Okay, now I understand why people don't post things. My DM got flooded with strange messages calling me a liar, asking if this is scripting, and asking strange personal questions about my parents. And asking for proof that I actually got married, and proof that I am from a Muslim family, 'cause Muslims don't read such books. 1. No, this is not scripting, I'm just happy and thought I'd share it to give others hope. 2. No, I am not lying about my parents. They are Muslim, just not too religious. 3. I will not be providing any proof of anything, stranger on the internet. You either believe me or don't and move on. But thank you for making me feel even better about how miraculous my life truly is. Now that I've said all I have to say and can add nothing more to anything, I'm gonna go enjoy my life. That was some seriously unhinged behavior coming from what's supposedly a good vibes and well wishes for everyone. Thank you everyone for the well wishes. I hope you all get what you want in life and more.